Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you're new. I am the Stepson of Krypton,
Nine Mantis.
and today we are coming to you with what is apparently becoming a weekly segment. And I think right now, as we have so much DCU news coming out, we're just going to probably be bringing you some kind of news every week, right? Because we're getting more and more coming out, little tidbits here and there, and we don't want you guys to miss anything because we don't want to miss anything. So, Mantis, are you ready to bring them the news?
I'm ready.
All right, guys, we won't waste any more time. Let's get on into the intro so we can get on into that news. All right, guys. So it wasn't our intention to be bringing you out weekly news. However, we are getting more and more updates. And as we had kind of expected, is we're getting ever so closer to Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We're now getting more Clayface updates. We are also getting updates out of the Elseworlds timeline. I guess we're still calling it that. With what's going on with Matt Reeves, the Batman 2. Not to be Sean Parker on you.
I'm the Batman. You're Batman. Okay. I don't mean to be Sean Parker here, but you can drop the.
Here. But Mantis, do you kind of want to cover what's been kind of
Well,
out there?
yeah, I mean, there's been, if you guys are on Twitter, again, I'm not on Threads or Blue Sky or whatever the hell it's called. But Matt Reeves has been very active in the past, and actually Warner Brothers Studios as well. Has been retweeting some of his stuff, but he's been dropping tweets like crazy the past couple days here. And we got some production pictures of the Batman 2, of the Batmobile with some snow tires on it. He's also been dropping pictures of some of the cast members: Sebastian Stan, Scarlett Johansson. So I'm assuming that post production is in full swing here. Hopefully, we'll be getting some maybe trailer stuff here, maybe in the next, hopefully by the end of the year. Hopefully, I mean, we're we're almost halfway through the calendar year, so, or maybe we'll get maybe some little teaser stuff towards in October or something like that. Usually, like Batman stuff, kind of, it's Halloween so I could see him doing something like that in October or whatever. But anyway, yeah, like I said, along with the Batmobile tweets, the past couple days and even today that we're recording this, which is Thursday, he's been tweeting out some cast members, which I don't know if we'd cover some of these since the last time we talked about the Batman. To again, I mentioned Scarlett Johansson, who's been cast as playing Gilda Dent, wife of the Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent, who is played by Sebastian Stan.
Harvey Dent. Can we trust him?
One last question. What? Harvey Dent.
Oh, fuck my face.
Can we trust him?
Can we trust him?
No, we knew Sebastian Stan was going to be playing Harvey Dent. We knew Scarlett Johansson had been added to the cast, and we did a video on it a while back. We did not know who she was going to be playing. So this, at least for my news, guys, if you knew it ahead of time, great. You should have let us know. Selfish bastards. No, I'm just joking. But this was the first of knowing that she's going to be playing his wife. Kind of interesting because obviously with what everything going on in the MCU, we know Sebastian is probably the only one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying it is, but from my knowledge, so let me know down in the comments, that will be in a DC property movie almost at the same, like concurrently, while he's still doing Marvel, because we know he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday coming up, and he's in this as well. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Now, we know this got pushed back a year, but we'll still be in the throes of Avengers Doomsday when this is releasing. So it's kind of interesting that he's doing both, where Scarlett Johansson made sense for her to jump ship, right? They already killed her character off, so come on over,
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting for Sebastian Stan because, like, filming's not a problem. They can schedule around that normally. The big thing is the promotions, right? Like, so if these movies are going to kind of be close, he's going to be on the talk show. They always do the talk show rounds, right? Like, he's going to be at talk shows promoting, the Avengers, but then he's also going to have to promote the Batman. It's just going to be
So
weird.
they won't be super close. They'll be. I mean, it's almost going to be from what we know of roughly when they think the Batman 2 is going to be released. It's going to be close to a year. You know, like Avengers Doomsday is the very end of 2026, and the Batman 2 is supposed to be kind of towards the back end of 2027, at least as far as
Oh,
now.
okay.
So it's going to be close to a year, but it's still like, you know, and I don't know. I think because what it was supposed to be was Secret Wars was supposed to be right like the next year. I think they pushed it back to 2028, and they're separating them by 2 years. I don't think they're going to do back to back movies.
Smart.
So-
You gotta let that shit breathe.
Well, and it's very difficult now. I know, like with Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, it was easy to record them back to back, but I don't know that you want to do something of that size.
Yeah.
Literally back to back.
And kind of one final note on the Batman 2 stuff is, or two things actually. The last casting note here was Charles Dance, who, you know, you guys may know from Game of Thrones as Tywin Lannister. He will be playing Charles Dent, so he gets to use the same first name in the movie. He'll be playing Harvey Dent's father. So that's an interesting there. I love that actor. He's great. Plays that serious role really well. Plus, I think he's British. I think so.
I believe so.
So you gotta have that British in there.
He has one of my favorite scenes in The Last Action Hero when he's the TV villain, when he comes over to New York in real life and he shoots the guy. He's like, I just shot somebody. I did it on purpose. And they're like, shut up. And they're just
go back to sleep. Try to sleep. Yeah.
Like, I love that. That's one of my that's I don't know why, but like I love him in that role.
Hello? I've just shot somebody. I did it on purpose.
Real quick, not to derail us again. However, this has been my theme lately. Avengers Secret Wars is on IMDb slotted for 2027. Doesn't say when. So he will be. Now, it also doesn't, we don't know 100% if Sebastian Stan's going to make it to Secret Wars. So maybe he won't be, but still, he's going to be in there. It's going to be a little weird. But yeah, so definitely it'll be interesting. I don't know. You're getting kind of a stacked cast for this Batman movie that, you know, I will say I know for sure, and we've done video on that previously too. I was expecting it to be shelved, right? Because everything going on with the DCU, why are you going to try to run two concurrent Batmans? Or you need to get rid of this Batman so you can get the Brave and the Bold. You get a Batman in the DCU. So it's very interesting that, nope, it's full on. Unless you're going to pull a Batgirl in the DCEU and just fucking scrap it after it's done.
And this next bit of news maybe kind of flips that on its head a little bit, or confirms what you're saying in the sense that we would normally get a Batman movie first. There's some other news that there's a Bane and Deathstroke movie in talks right now. And apparently the script is already written because there is 2 directors that they've got in mind for this. Rumored. Again, guys, this is not in stone. This is all rumors. We're not saying it's happened. These people may or may not be the directors of this. This project may not happen. But there is rumors that Greg Matola, sorry guys,
don't look at me, you know I can't pronounce for shit.
I know he's said to be in contention with to direct the untitled Bane and Deathstroke movie, along with Ilya Nashuler. That's the other director that they're thinking of that's in the running for it. I don't know, it's weird to start out with a Batman villain movie in this before getting an actual Batman, although technically they did the Joker first, I think, in the Elseworlds before they actually did the Batman as well. So who knows? They're deciding to do this before Brave and the Bold, but it does make an interesting question, I guess. You have 2 villains in the same movie. Now, we're assuming they're both villains. Again, there's, you know, Bane has some backstory to him, but he was mostly, aside from his upbringing, he was, you know, he's quote unquote a bad guy. But also Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, wasn't always a bad guy. So you could have it before he actually turns into, you know, the mercenary. Who knows what they'll do there? But it is interesting. Again, you got this perfect plug for, or an opportunity for Dave Bautista, who again, we all know James Gunn has worked with him in the past with Guardians movies, to play Bane. The bad news is Dave Bautista has stopped lifting weights and stopped juicing, so he is not big at all. So I don't know if that is in the cards for him to play Bane, but it would have been a really good casting for him.
Well, here's the thing, though. The man's been juicing since Capri Suns, right? Like, it would
Yeah.
not be a stretch for him to get back on the roids because, you know, when you build muscle, it's a lot easier to build it back once you've already had it and lost it than to build it in the beginning, right? Because your body has muscle memory. You're like, it is easier. So he could be juicing because the one thing he did say was with the Guardians is he's tired of being shirtless, right? Well, Bane's not shirtless. The beautiful thing with Bane's outfit is it only shows the two areas that guys want to show, and that's your chest and your fucking arms, right? Like that's what you see of Bane, which is perfect because that's, I mean, you can build those up and make them look really good and don't fucking worry about the legs. And even if you had a little bit of a gut, you're not seeing it. You don't have to be shirtless. I will say it's interesting. So we know that the animated with like Creature Commandos is 100% ties in with the movies, with everything that happened with Rick Flag and all that. We did see Batman in the like second to last or last episode of Creature Commandos. You see that flash that was very remnant of, and we did a video on that too, of the original Batman, the animated series, when we do the flash down and you see Batman. So we know he's already in there. He's already established. So to do, and maybe you did it kind of like back in time a little bit where Bane, like we obviously know Deathstroke, you know, Slade Wilson, he was former military. Is Bane what causes him to go evil and become a mercenary? Because he's going after Bane? So could it be something like that? Because, you know, there are a lot of great villains in DC, and we've discussed this time and time again, but two of the best Batman ones besides Joker, because that's a dangerous one to bring in early stages, especially with everything going on in the Elseworlds too, are Bane and Deathstroke. So we know Joe Manganiello, whatever, again, you know how I pronounce shit on there. Like we know he was Deathstroke in the DCEU. People were super excited to see him come in there. We know we've seen Bane. We will not talk about the Batman and Robin Bane that showed up. That was absolutely horrible. So let's focus on the Tom Hardy one. So we know we've seen them, but we wanted more, right, of both of those characters. So it would be interesting to have them in their own kind of movie. Maybe you do it like that. Maybe you don't. Let us know down in the comments. What would you like to see? Would you like to see it like that? Or do you want them to be mercenaries that are teamed up together and they're going after Batman or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, we did get in the comics, again, if you guys are following the Absolute comics we're doing, there was a lot of backstory for Bane in the Absolute Batman recently. So
that's crazy backstory for Bane in the Absolute universe.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little altered, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it would be really cool to see like an origin story for both of these characters in the sense of how they got so twisted, or, you know, what happened to them as an introduction for Batman, Brave and the Bold. So,
yeah, I definitely think that could work. Again, they're very, very popular and people are been kind of wanting to see. Plus, the other thing is we know the comics have been kind of tying loosely into, like, I say loosely, basically, like if we know they're going to be in the DCU, we've been seeing them get their own comic. And we know in the DC Next Level, we've just gotten Deathstroke comics have just started. Issue 2's out, 3's getting ready to come out. So that's another good hint that may be a thing. And with Absolute Batman, again, completely different universe, but they've been introducing Bane, so could be a thing.
Could be. Yeah. Yep. They did it with, I mean, we already heard about it. Did it with Mr. Terrific. Did it. Yeah, they've done this, and it's on purpose, right? It is.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
Green Arrow's coming out. So,
I'm excited for that one. May 20th.
Yeah.
I'll be covering that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And then what other news do we have?
Just a couple of things from Man of Tomorrow. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Cinqua Walls has been added to the cast. No details on who he's playing has been released currently. And then again, Adria Arjona is rumored to be playing Maxima. We covered that in another video. She's listed on IMDb
as Maxima.
So, you know, there's that. Again, you threw me on this because I had put this in the notes, but we'd already talked about it, that Aaron Pierre was listed as Jon Stewart, so he'll be in the movie as well, along with Guy Gardner. So
Which, and I know you were going to cover it in HBO, like the Lanterns. There's talks that it's, and we talked about it in the previous video we did. We've done so many videos, guys. Sorry, we have to. We're just referencing them. Is that? But we cover all of this because we cover a lot of this, and then all of a sudden it becomes big news. And I'm like, we were there first, motherfucker. No, I'm just joking, but it's true.
it is.
But we had covered that. Yes, it's going to have a kind of a Tarantino style vibe of where it's going to jump around, except this time it's going to be more in actual times. So Lanterns isn't going to be necessarily in the past or future, but it is going to jump around in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So makes more sense why maybe depending on what it is, it might be a little bit in the past, and then we'll see Jon Stewart becoming Green Lantern, so then he will be in the Man of Tomorrow as a full-fledged Green Lantern, or it could be vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. Again, this is all we know is he's cast. So he could just be someone that maybe he meets Guy Gardner at that point. And then that's what is kind of in the Lanterns kickoff, that we're already going to watch the Lanterns before that movie comes out. It's like you said, it's weird time stuff there. I hate when they do that shit. It makes it kind of confusing for the audience, but you know.
And we still know, as of right now, Matthew Lillard is not confirmed what role he's going to be playing in the Superman Man of Tomorrow. I do want to say, everybody who's watched that video, thank you for who you thought he should be playing. Leaving the comments on there. That we had some good ones. Ted Cord, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, definitely a favorite for me. I love who said it could be a good booster, and I think you actually are very, very spot on with that. He could be a good booster because we kind of were giving him more of a villainous route, but he could be a good Booster Gold. So keep it coming, giggity. With the
there was some rumors he could be playing Jay Garrick as well. So
Jay Garrick would be another kind of a, we go OG Flash. That's how you introduce your older Flash, but you introduce the character, and then you bring in whether you want to do Barry Allen or Wally West, depending where we're at in the timelines here. So, very, very interesting news. I will say the one thing though is it's kind of annoying for us sometimes that it seems like everything's so damn secretive. But then it also leaves us guessing, right? Because then your imagination starts wondering, because even before recording and then after recording, we're like, it could be this. And we just start running through ideas of who they could be. And it seems like you guys are in the comments too. And I love that, right? Because it gets the imagination going. But that's what gets the excitement. Like, oh, I would love to see him come in as this character or this character. Or, yeah, come in as Booster Gold. And you're like, oh, that'd be perfect. And you start kind of like just building this thing up. Though the problem is when your expectations and hopes get crushed.
Yeah, it's all marketing. It's drumming up those grassroots talks and that, like you said, excitement. And I think you see some of that. This is building. Again, all of the stuff we've been talking about, that we talked about through Lobo coming into Supergirl or Superwoman or Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, what through the Lanterns, through this, through Clayface, and all the stuff coming from whether the Batman 2 is going to be in the snow. Could it be, Mr. Freeze? What's going to happen there? Like, they do all this on purpose. Again, we know. My question of why things are so secret is just, it's more of a frustration point than anything. It's like, okay, you cast Matthew Lillard. We know he's cast. Why don't you just post what he's gonna play? Like, that's my gripe with it.
Yeah, but you're a year out, right? Because that one's set for
July,
I think. Yeah. So like you're a year more, just over a year out. Like, and we know, like, we're your typical movie, we would already have like a trailer of not that one, but like a trailer of some of these movies, sometimes 2 and 3 trailers. We barely got a teaser, like with Superman, and even with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, we barely got a teaser till like a month and a half, 2 months before the movie. Then we got a full trailer. So you're trying to keep a lot of things, under wraps, right, to build that suspense. And I think when you're going up against everything that's happening with Marvel right now, you need some edge, right? because they're already such a well-established universe. You're trying to build something. Not only are you kind of building something against them, but you're also building something against the DCEU and everybody who is still clinging on to
you're
that.
fighting your own
right?
fans. You're literally fighting your own like watch eyeballs, right? Like there's infighting, which again we talked about. I don't understand it. Why can't you just? It's whatever. I don't
Yeah,
have to go
but
into that.
our next video, we're going to dive into a bigger. Well, I say bigger. We're going to dive into a very. I don't want to say decisive either, but it's going to be an issue that's relevant to what we're talking about here that may divide the fandom. I don't think it. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It could be a dumpster fire. We'll see. But
we hope.
Kind of. I mean, guys, the reality is here, and I'm doing this at the end because you probably aren't even here watching this at this point, but what you don't realize, like, we do these great videos like building the DCU where we construct our own DCU and we do all this, and that's 50 minutes. It was over an hour worth of shooting, hours and hours worth of editing, and it gets jack shit for views. But then we could do a controversial like, oh, is the DCU crumbling? And yeah, there's a lot of hate because they're like, oh, you don't support it. We do. We've been very vocal about supporting because we want a Superman movie, but it'll get 1,000 views because people want that kind of stuff. And we're not trying to pander, but at some point, like, first off, we're just reporting the news. We're reporting what's out there. We didn't make this shit up. We put the articles out there. You know, we're just telling you what's out there, right? Dude, if they report a bunch of good news, we'll report that too. It's just not what's out there. It's not what people are wanting.
Yeah. I mean, even most of this stuff, it's just news. It's not good or bad. Nothing was canceled. Nothing was really confirmed. It's just here it is.
Adria Arjona, I think, finally is confirmed. She's going to be in it as Maxima, because there was a lot of speculation she was going to be Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, and that was very big rumors for that. Or fans were really wanting that, I say. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter. So that would be a lot. I say I'm glad they didn't. That'd be a lot to bring in Wonder Woman in that movie too. We don't need.
Well, I mean, I kind of still think Maxima's a little rough because, you know, you still have the engineers in this movie, right?
I know. Yeah.
And now you have Maxima, who's not really a villain, but she's also not a hero to Superman. She's in love with him. So they're going to cause that. But you got Brainiac, and we don't. If Matthew Lillard's playing a villain, like, you're damn. What are you doing here, man? Are you trying to do a Batman and Robin where you cram some of the biggest villains into the damn movie? We're like, oh, we'll put Mr. Freeze and fucking Poison Ivy and Bane in one movie together. And all of them were shit. You know, like, no. So let's hope they're not going that route. But that is the news that we have currently, guys. If you have made it with us this far, we definitely appreciate it. Sorry, I know we kind of go off on tangents sometimes, but, you know, we're passionate about what we're talking about here. We hope you guys are as well. And if you are, you might as well go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and have the bell notifications clicked so you get alerted when we release these news videos. We're doing our best to keep you as updated as we can with everything in the DCU, but we are also doing so much in the comic book world because we have the Absolute series, as Mantis just said earlier. Absolute Green Arrow is going to be now the 7th series in the Absolute that we're covering. That's going to be a lot more, but we also covered Justice League Unlimited, and we've slowly started kind of breaking into DC Next Level. We're kind of waiting for you guys to tell us if that's something more you guys are looking forward to and you want us to continue doing more series in there.
Let us know if you want Deathstroke. Let us know.
Yeah, because we can definitely do that, but also we know realistically we've got an impending crisis. It's just how much longer before we have to deal with that one. So, but we definitely do appreciate everybody who not only has subscribed from the beginning, but everybody who has subscribed recently, and the comments, man. This is what I love, because everybody's that I've seen has been pretty decent. I won't say anybody's been crazy, like mean towards one another, but they've been expressing their ideas and their thoughts and things like that. And I'm here for that. There's going to be a little negativity. We're not going to be able to just dispel all of that. But I do appreciate everybody that has commented, because even if you don't agree with us, that's fine. You don't have to. We're not always right about everything. It's our opinions. So
my opinions are usually wrong too. So
Mine, I mean, I don't know, man. 60% of the time, they work every time.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
No, that's not true at all. But all right, guys, before we go completely off the rails again, that is going to do it for us on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Hasta la vista,
Baby.
baby.